Hi, welcome to the Songwriter's Playground. I'm so glad you decided to join me. Now, forgive me for a minute while I read you some notes. It'll make more sense. Songwriting is like going to a playground. There are many different stations on a playground: swing, seesaw, merry-go-round, monkey bars, slides. There's no prescribed order in which you are required to do any activity before or after another. You have the freedom to visit one, then another at will, stop and rest, run madly from one to the next. The same is true with songwriting. There are many different stations in song creation, and you have the freedom to approach each element in your own order at your own pace. This is the fun and the challenge of songwriting. I can't tell you how to do it. I can only introduce to you what is possible, and your unique approach is the correct one. Each different approach will net you different results. In this course, I can only share suggestions, outline steps, propose activities, and share insight into processes I've found useful when I write songs. What you do with the information is up to you. You can simply read to comprehend the philosophy, you can ruminate on exercises on a scrap of paper through the day, or you can create a regular writing practice and your routine. It's my hope that you come to this program willing to try anything until you find out what works for you, and then reapproach that information and try different approaches until you become comfortable with all the possibilities. I can truthfully say I've been writing for 46 years, and there is always more to learn. There's always more to find out, and especially from other songwriters. Because this program is based on my own experience, I'll ask you to try some specific approaches to songwriting. Now, feel free to adapt the activities and alter lessons into some form that you find more useful. The physical materials I suggest you use are what I've found effective for my songwriting processes. Feel free to gather what writing tools make you comfortable, and feel free to be expressive with those things. I suggest handwriting on paper, but you can compose on any device with which you feel comfortable. You may find it helpful to always write in a particular location, at home, in a closet, in your library, or at the library, or in your car or at work, where you can escape the distractions of the day. But I found great inspiration sitting in the middle of an active, noisy crowd. You keep a notebook or a cell phone handy, and it means you can capture an idea now and explore it later. But then you'll always have saved the idea, and that's what's important. I suggest that you compose by hand on paper rather than trying to compose songs on a computer keyboard. There are plenty of scientific evidence for why writing by hand connects your brain and your words. It slows you down enough to make choices you compose, and you can also spread several pages out to view them at the same time. I find that really invaluable when I've got all my ideas laid out, and then I want to start blocking them out and putting ideas in order and getting verses in order, to be able to lay all these pages out in front of me and be able to see each of the parts together. And then I can arrange them in the order I want, where with a computer it's hard to look at several pages at one time. Get a composition book or a firm spiral notebook, or several. You can get them cheap at Staples or whatever. You want a firm book that's easy to carry. Try to find an ink pen that feels very comfortable in your hand, that writes in a nice bold way, that you like, feels good in your hand, because even that pen is part of the inspiration and confidence that you'll find in writing. A book with a cover is preferable to a notepad, because when somebody walks up and you want to maintain your privacy, you can just shut the book and nobody can see what's on there. Wherewith, if you've been writing or brainstorming on a notepad, then it's possible for other people to look. Also, with a good composition book or something like that, it's easy to carry around. With a spiral notebook, you can slip your pen right into that spiral part, and it's all right there for you to grab and go out the door with whenever you want, or to pick up and use. Give yourself the freedom to scratch through ideas, to circle and draw arrows, X out entire passages, fold pages, rip pages out, brainstorm, write, rewrite, scribble and doodle, invent. Be willing to joyfully make many, many sloppy mistakes. Composing on the slips of toilet paper and matchbook covers you find lying around, that's encouraged too. but try to keep them together in a box, and that way you can always go diving for fresh ideas or images. Songs can serve many purposes. They may entertain, enlighten, engage, inform, invoke empathy, guide an imaginative adventure, create sacred space, celebrate what you find holy. Songs may rally a crowd, build community, open emotional connections, or air emotional scars. They can lift spirits, ask rhetorical questions, share universal truths, pray for wishes, or expose universal lies. Songs can also be used to insult, hurt, tease, vent anger, spread rumors and lies, make a listener feel ashamed, unstable, divide communities, drive others away, incite violence or hurtful attitudes towards others. And surprisingly, when we hear those songs, they also invade our brains and have an effect, whether we like it or not. So some writers choose to prefer that path of anger and violence and frustration. I prefer to lift the world up as I'm writing, so that's what I try to do with my songwriting. With Lesson 1, I ask you to simply enjoy exploring who you are as a writer, connect your pen to your imagination, leave your editor out in the cold, and play freely to discover topics which you want to write a song about. Please feel free to contact me for clarifications, questions, or to share your thoughts. Please tell me what you think about this course as you go along. If you don't understand what I'm asking or want more exercises in an area, please feel free to ask. And especially if you've got questions, the forum is a great place to put them, and that way everybody can benefit from your questions. Thanks very much. You've got my email address. We're all together here on this forum. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thanks very much. Enjoy the playground.